The recurring module is optional and is typically configured after the initial setup is complete. Your budget will work perfectly without it. But if you want better visibility and control over your bills and subscriptions, this is where you set that up. The recurring module is very powerful for tracking things like rent, utilities, insurance, or subscriptions. To set it up, you start by adding each recurring transaction to the list. For each one, you define the frequency, for example, monthly or yearly, along with a starting date, an end date, if there is one, and the value, which is usually negative since it represents an expense. You'll also assign a keyword, which allows BudgetWise to later match this recurring item to a real transaction imported from your bank account. Once items are defined, click Setup on the top to generate them across the timeline. You can see them in the recurring list for the whole period of time. If in the future you need to add a new recurring item or update an existing one, you don't need to redo everything. Simply double-click on column L under Include an Update for the row you want to add or modify. The status will turn green, indicating it has been included and updated in the recurring list. If you want to remove a recurring item, double-click on column M under Delete for the row you want to remove, and it will highlight that it has been removed. The calendar page then shows when these transactions are expected to occur each month. You can select any month of any year. You can later link these recurring items to the real bank transaction to confirm they have been paid. Let's now take a closer look at the calendar and recurring transactions pages, which work together to help you manage bills and subscriptions. The calendar page gives you a day-by-day view of all the recurring transactions for the selected month. Each recurring item you have defined appears on a specific day based on the frequency and start date you set during setup. This makes it easy to see which payments are expected in a given month and helps you anticipate upcoming expenses. The calendar does not replace your bank transactions. Instead, it works as a planning and validation tool, showing what should happen so you can later confirm what did happen. Each recurring item also shows a status based on the label shown on the top corner. Initially, most items will show an S, meaning the payment is scheduled for that day, but has not been confirmed as paid. If the system automatically finds a matching bank transaction, the status will change to M, meaning a match has been found but it still needs user confirmation. Normally, this will happen when you're doing the identification of the subcategories. Let's give it a try. We go back to the calendar. We can search for a month in the past. And then you'll see that it automatically linked the rent to a bank transaction. Same thing in Netflix, didn't happen in the internet. To review or change the status of a recurring item, simply double-click on it. This will take you to a recurring identification page. On this page, you will see the recurring item details on the top left. If there are bank transactions that potentially match this recurring item, they will appear on the right-hand side. If no transactions are shown, you can expand the search by increasing the date range or adjusting the value tolerance. This is useful because real transactions don't always match the exact value you originally defined, and the date may not be exactly the date that you were expecting to happen. If there is no matching bank transaction, but you know the bill has been paid, you can manually confirm it as paid. This will mark the recurring item as completed, even though it isn't linked to a specific transaction. In those cases, it will show as CN, confirmed, but no transaction identified. You can double click in here and it will basically just change the status to CN. If you double click again, it will release the link and it will come back again with the transactions. When a list of possible transactions is shown, you can link or unlink a specific one by double clicking on it. This will immediately update the status of the recurring item. So in this case, this rent is matched to this bank account. If I double click on it, it releases the match. Now the status goes back to schedule, but there is no other options. If I increase that one to, let's say, crazy number, and I refresh, now I have information for the different months, because this is happening every single month. In this case, the date I know that is the 6th. I found the 6th. I can double click. Now again, now it matches both of them, but because it's a manual intervention from the user, it becomes a confirm in the status. It's important to note that when a recurring item is linked to a transaction, only that transaction will be shown. All the information related to your recurring transactions is also available in the recurring list page. This page shows a complete list of all recurring items, including their expected dates, current status, and whether they are linked to a bank transaction. In this tab, control is intentionally limited, as it's designed mainly for review and quick corrections. If you notice that a recurring item has been linked to the wrong transaction, you can simply double-click on it. This will remove the link and return the current item to a scheduled status. If you don't want to link a recurring item to a specific bank transaction, but you know the payment has already been made, you can also double-click to manually confirm it's paid. In this case, the item will be marked as confirmed without being linked to a transaction, and its status will be shown as CN.